One way. This sign indicates that traffic is allowed to move in only one direction on the roadway. Drivers must travel in the direction shown by the arrow. Keep right of obstacle. This road sign directs drivers to pass to the right side of an obstruction, traffic island, or divider for safe travel. Narrow bridge. The sign warns that the bridge ahead is narrower than the approaching roadway. Drivers should reduce speed and be prepared for restricted space. No right turn. This road sign informs drivers that making a right turn at this location is prohibited. Motorists must continue straight ahead or follow other permitted directions. Side road right. The sign warns drivers that a side road joins the main road from the right ahead. Extra caution should be taken for vehicles entering or crossing traffic. Question 1. What does this road sign mean? A. Right turn permitted after stop. B. Sharp turn to the right ahead. C. No right turn allowed. D. Right lane ends ahead. Option C is correct. No right turn allowed. Question 2. This sign means A. Highway ends ahead. B. Traffic flows only in the direction of the arrow. C. No left turns allowed. D. Single lane road ahead. The correct choice is option B. Traffic flows only in the direction of the arrow. Question 3. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Right lane ends merge left. B. Another road joins from the right. C. Sharp right, turn ahead. D. Winding road to the right. The answer is option B. Another road joins from the right. Question 4. What is the message behind this sign? A. Keep to the right of the traffic island or obstruction. B. Right turn only at the intersection. C. Passing permitted on the right. D. Stay in the right lane for exit. Well done if you picked option A. Keep to the right of the traffic island or obstruction. Question 5. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Yield to oncoming traffic. B. Road narrows on both sides. C. The bridge ahead is narrower than the road approach. D. Two-way traffic ahead on bridge. The right answer is option C. The bridge ahead is narrower than the road approach. Dip. The sign alerts drivers to a low section or depression in the road ahead. Reducing speed can help maintain vehicle control and comfort. No pedestrians crossing. This sign indicates that pedestrians are not permitted to cross the road at this location. Drivers should still remain alert for unexpected pedestrian activity. Crossroad. This road sign warns that a four-way intersection lies ahead. Drivers should watch for vehicles approaching from different directions. Hospital. This sign indicates the presence of a hospital nearby. Drivers should be alert for emergency vehicles entering or leaving the facility. Deer crossing. This road sign warns motorists that deer frequently cross the roadway in this area. Drivers should slow down and remain vigilant, especially during dawn and dusk. Question 6. What does this road sign mean? A. Pedestrians must yield right-of-way. B. Pedestrians are not allowed to cross the roadway. C. Watch for pedestrians on the shoulder. D. Designated pedestrian walking path. If you selected option B, you're correct. Pedestrians are not allowed to cross the roadway. Question 7. This sign means A. Zoo or wildlife refuge ahead. B. Watch for domesticated animals. C. Slow down. Deer may cross the roadway. D. Hunting zone ahead. Option C is the correct answer. Slow down. Deer may cross the roadway. Question 8. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Low clearance overhead bridge. B. Speed bump ahead. C. There is a low place in the road. Slow down. D. Steep hill descent ahead. You got it if you chose. Option C. There is a low place in the road. Slow down. Question 9. What is the message behind this sign? A. Emergency vehicle parking only. B. Hospital ahead. Look for emergency vehicles or signs. C. First aid station ahead. D. High noise zone, do not honk. The correct answer is option B. Hospital ahead. Look for emergency vehicles or signs. Question 10. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Another road crosses the highway ahead. B. 4-lane divided highway begins. C. T intersection ahead. D. Intersection lane merging. Nice work if you selected option A. Another road crosses the highway ahead. Two-way traffic. This sign informs drivers that traffic will move in both directions on the roadway ahead. Care should be taken to stay within the correct lane. Truck rollover warning. This warning sign alerts truck drivers to roadway conditions that may increase the risk of vehicle rollover if driven at excessive speeds. Yield. The sign instructs drivers to slow down and give the right-of-way to other vehicles or pedestrians before proceeding safely. Straight through only. This road sign requires drivers to continue straight ahead. Turning left or right at this point is not allowed. Interstate route marker. The sign identifies an interstate highway route by its number, helping motorists navigate the national highway network. Question 11. What does this road sign mean? A. Come to a complete stop in all cases. B. Merge left immediately. C. Slow down and give right-of-way to cross traffic. D. Maintain speed. Cross traffic must stop. Option C is correct. Slow down and give right-of-way to cross traffic. Question 12. This sign means A. Divided highway begins ahead. B. Keep right of the median strip. C. Passing lane ends ahead. D. The one-way street changes to a two-way street ahead. The correct choice is option D. The one-way street changes to a two-way street ahead. Question 13. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. No left or right turns permitted. Proceed straight only. B. One-way traffic ahead. C. No U-turns allowed at intersection. D. End of divided highway. You got it right if you selected option A. No left or right turns permitted. Proceed straight only. Question 14. What is the message behind the sign? A. State highway route marker. B. U.S. route marker. C. County road designation. D. National System of Interstate and Defense Highways marker. The answer is option D. National System of Interstate and Defense Highways marker. Question 15. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. high-speed zone for commercial vehicles. B, heavy trucks ahead in right lane. C, slow down, the curve ahead may cause a truck to overturn. D, runaway truck ramp 1 mile ahead. Well done if you picked option C, slow down, the curve ahead may cause a truck to overturn. Right turn only. This regulatory sign informs drivers that they must make a right turn. Continuing straight or turning left is prohibited. Right lane ends, merge left. This road sign notifies drivers that the right lane ends ahead. Vehicles in that lane must merge safely into the lane on the left. Sharp right turn. The sign warns drivers of a sharp right-hand curve ahead. Speed should be reduced before entering the turn. Added right lane. This road sign indicates that an additional lane begins on the right side of the roadway, providing more space for traffic movement. Chevron. The sign highlights a sharp curve or significant change in road direction. Drivers should follow the indicated path and reduce speed. Question 16. What does this road sign mean? A, added lane from the right. B, form 2 lines of traffic. C, right lane ends ahead, move into the left lane. D, left lane ends ahead, move right. The correct answer is option C. Right lane ends ahead, move into the left lane. Question 17. This sign means A, sharp right turn ahead. B, chevron. C, road curves sharply to the left. D, winding road ahead. If you chose option B, that's correct. Chevron. Question 18. What does this traffic sign indicate? A, all traffic must turn right at the intersection. B, no left turns allowed at next street. C, right lane is for exiting traffic only. D, keep to the right side of the road. Option A is the right answer. All traffic must turn right at the intersection. Question 19. What is the message behind this sign? A, merge left immediately. B, added right lane. C, traffic joining from the right must yield. D, right lane ends ahead. Nice job if you selected option B, added right lane. Question 20. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A, hairpin curve ahead. B, the road curves sharply to the right at an angle of 90 degrees or less. C, winding road ahead, starting to the right. D, right lane curves slightly. The correct response is option B. The road curves sharply to the right. Railroad crossing ahead. This road sign warns motorists that a railroad crossing is approaching. Drivers should be prepared to stop if a train is present. T intersection. This road sign warns that the road ends ahead at a T intersection. Drivers must turn left or right when they reach the junction. No trucks. This sign informs drivers that trucks are not permitted on the roadway beyond this point due to restrictions or regulations. Workers. This warning sign indicates that road workers may be present ahead. Drivers should proceed carefully and obey temporary traffic controls. Tow-away zone. The sign indicates that parking or stopping is prohibited in the area. Vehicles left illegally may be towed at the owner's expense. Question 21. What does this road sign mean? A. Pedestrian crossing ahead. B. Flagger directing traffic. C. School zone crossing. D. People are working on or near the roadway. Slow down. You are correct if you picked option D. People are working on or near the roadway. Slow down. Question 22. This sign means A. Train station entrance 500 feet ahead. B. Railroad crossing ahead. C. Light rail transit crossing only. D. Stop sign ahead at tracks. The answer is option B. Railroad crossing ahead. Question 23. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Parking reserved for disabled drivers. B. Vehicles parked illegally here will be towed without warning. C. Loading and unloading zone only. D. Maintenance vehicles only. Option B is correct. Vehicles parked illegally here will be towed without warning. Question 24. What is the message behind this sign? A. The road ends ahead. You must turn right or left. B. Road narrows to a single lane. C. Crossroad intersection ahead. D. Dead-end street ahead. The right choice is option A. The road ends ahead. You must turn right or left. Question 25. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Commercial vehicles must use right lane. B. No trucks allowed on this roadway. C. Weight limit restriction ahead. D. Runaway truck ramp ahead. Great work if you selected option B. No trucks allowed on this roadway. Divided highway ends. This warning sign informs drivers that the divided highway is ending and opposing traffic will no longer be separated by a median. Weight limit. This regulatory sign specifies the maximum allowable vehicle weight on the road, bridge, or structure ahead. U.S. route marker. The sign identifies a United States highway route number and assists drivers in following designated highway routes. Traffic light ahead. This road sign warns that traffic signals are located ahead. Drivers should be prepared to stop if necessary. Slippery when wet ahead. The sign warns that the roadway may become slippery during wet weather conditions. Drivers should reduce speed and increase following distance. Question 26. What does this road sign mean? A. State route highway marker. B. Interstate highway route marker. C. U.S. highway route marker. D. County road marker. The correct answer is option C. U.S. highway route marker. Question 27. This sign means A. Divided highway ends. B. Divided highway begins ahead. C. Keep right of the oncoming barrier. D. One-way street ends. If you chose option A, you're absolutely right. Divided highway ends. Question 28. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Interlocking intersection ahead. B. Traffic control signal ahead. Prepare to stop. C. Stop sign ahead. D. Yield right of way ahead. Option B is correct. Traffic control signal ahead. Prepare to stop. Question 29. What is the message behind this sign? A. Steep hill descent ahead. B. Freshly tarred road surface. C. High winds zone ahead. D. Roadway ahead becomes slippery when wet. Reduce speed. The answer is option D. Roadway ahead becomes slippery when wet. Reduce speed. Question 30. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Maximum legal speed limit. B. Axle weight, maximum limits. C. Shows the maximum gross weight allowed on the road or bridge. D. Minimum weight limit for interstate access. Well done if you selected option C. Shows the maximum gross weight allowed on the road or bridge. Road narrows on both sides. This warning sign informs drivers that the roadway becomes narrower ahead, requiring greater attention to lane positioning. Pedestrians crossing. This road sign alerts drivers that pedestrians may be crossing the roadway. Extra caution and reduced speed are recommended. Bicycle crossing. The sign warns that cyclists may cross or enter the roadway at this location. Drivers should watch carefully and yield when necessary. Stop. This regulatory sign requires drivers to come to a complete stop and proceed only when it is safe and legal to do so. Train station. The sign indicates the direction to or location of a railway station where passengers can board or disembark from trains. Question 31. What does this road sign mean? A. Watch for pedestrians crossing the street. B. School zone crossing ahead. C. No pedestrians allowed on roadway. D. Pedestrian walking path parallel to road. You got it right if you picked option A. Watch for pedestrians crossing the street. Prepare to slow down or stop. Question 32. This sign means A. Railroad crossing crossbuck. B. High-speed bus crossing ahead. C. Public transit train station nearby or ahead. D. Freight yard crossing ahead. The correct choice is option C. Public transit train station nearby or ahead. Question 33. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Narrow bridge ahead. B. Left lane ends ahead. C. Right lane ends ahead. D. The road ahead narrows from both sides. Option D is the right answer. The road ahead narrows from both sides. Question 34. What is the message behind this sign? A. Slow down and yield right of way. B. Come to a complete stop behind the stop line or crosswalk. C. Yield to incoming traffic from the right. D. Stop only if other vehicles are present. Nice job if you chose. Option B. Come to a complete stop behind the stop line or crosswalk. Question 35. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Designated bicycle path ends. B. Bicycles regularly cross or use this roadway. Watch for cyclists. C. No bicycles allowed on this road. D. Bicycle rental shop ahead. The correct response is option B. Bicycles regularly cross or use this roadway. Watch for cyclists. Curve right. This warning sign informs drivers that the road curves to the right ahead. Speed should be adjusted to safely negotiate the curve. No U-turn. This road sign informs drivers that making a U-turn at this location is prohibited for safety or traffic management reasons. No entry. This regulatory sign indicates that vehicles are not allowed to enter from the direction facing the sign. Roundabout. This road sign indicates that a roundabout lies ahead. Drivers must yield to circulating traffic before entering. Parking area. The sign identifies a designated area where vehicles may legally park, subject to any posted restrictions. Question 36. What does this road sign mean? A. Winding road ahead. B. Sharp curve to the right. C. Circular intersection ahead. Slow down and yield to traffic inside. D. No U-turn permitted at intersection. You are correct if you selected. Option C. Circular intersection ahead. Slow down and yield to traffic inside. Question 37. This sign means A. Sharp right turn ahead. B. The road curves gradually to the right ahead. C. Reverse curve right then left. D. Added lane from the right side. Option B is correct. The road curves gradually to the right ahead. Question 38. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Designated parking space or lot ahead. B. No parking allowed at any time. C. Emergency parking only on shoulder. D. Tow-away zone for illegal parking. Great work if you picked option A, designated parking space or lot ahead. Question 39. What is the message behind this sign? A. No left turns allowed at intersection. B. You cannot make a complete turn to go in the opposite direction. C. One-way traffic ahead. D. No legal left-hand destination turns. The answer is option B. You cannot make a complete turn to go in the opposite direction. Question 40. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. No entry. B. Closed road ahead due to construction. C. No left turns permitted at this point. D. Yield right-of-way to oncoming vehicles. If you selected option A, you're right. No entry. Flagger ahead. This warning sign informs drivers that a person directing traffic is stationed ahead, usually in a construction or maintenance zone. Winding road. This warning sign advises drivers that a series of curves lies ahead. Reduced speed and increased attention are recommended. Low clearance. The sign warns that the structure ahead has limited overhead height. Drivers of tall vehicles should verify clearance before proceeding. School crossing. This road sign alerts drivers that school children may be crossing the roadway. Drivers should slow down and remain especially alert. Airport. The sign indicates the direction to or location of an airport and related facilities. Question 41. What does this road sign mean? A. Do not enter if your vehicle is taller than the height shown on the sign. B. Weight limit restriction for heavy vehicles. C. Length restriction for commercial trailers. D. Overhead electrical wires ahead. Option A is correct. Do not enter if your vehicle is taller than the height shown on the sign. Question 42. This sign means A. Construction workers on roadway. B. A flagger is ahead controlling traffic. Follow their directions. C. Survey crew operating ahead. D. Road closed ahead. Detour. The correct answer is option B. A flagger is ahead controlling traffic. Follow their directions. Question 43. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Pedestrian crossing in business district. B. Watch for children. Slow down and prepare to stop for school crossing. C. Playground area ahead. D. School bus stop ahead. Well done if you chose option B, Watch for children, slow down, and prepare to stop for school crossing. Question 44. What is the message behind this sign? A. Low-flying aircraft noise zone. B. Commercial drone operating area. C. Flight path crossing overhead. D. Airport or flight facility ahead. Watch for low-flying aircraft. The right choice is option D. Airport or flight facility ahead. Watch for low-flying aircraft. Question 45. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Series of sharp turns ahead. B. The road curves right then left. C. The road ahead winds with a series of 3 or more curves. D. Slippery road surface ahead. You got it right if you selected option C. Y intersection? This warning sign indicates that the road ahead divides or joins in a Y-shaped intersection. Drivers should prepare to choose the appropriate route. Speed limit. This regulatory sign displays the maximum legal speed permitted under normal driving conditions on that section of road. Hazardous material prohibited. This regulatory sign indicates that vehicles carrying hazardous materials are not permitted beyond this point due to safety regulations. Divided highway begins. This road sign informs drivers that a median or barrier will begin ahead, separating opposing directions of traffic. Railroad crossing crossbuck. This sign marks the exact location of a railroad crossing and reminds drivers to yield to trains when necessary. Question 46. What does this road sign mean? A. Recommended speed for ideal weather conditions. B. Minimum speed permitted on the highway. C. Maximum legal speed under ideal driving conditions. D. Speed limit enforcement zone 1 mile ahead. Option C is the correct answer. Question 47. This sign means A. Train station parking exit. B. Railroad crossing crossbuck. C. Railroad warning 500 feet ahead. D. Light rail passenger platform. Nice work if you picked. Option B, railroad crossing crossbuck. Question 48. What does this traffic sign indicate? A. Dead-end street ahead. B. The road splits ahead into 2 separate branches. C. 3-way crossroad intersection. D. Highway exit ramp splits. The answer is option B. The road splits ahead into 2 separate branches. Question 49. What is the message behind this sign? A. The road ahead is split into 2 one-way roadways separated by a median. B. 2-way traffic ends ahead. C. Keep left of the upcoming traffic island. D. Divided highway ends ahead. If you chose option A, you're absolutely correct. The road ahead is split into 2 one-way roadways, separated by a median. Question 50. Do you know the meaning of this sign? A. Vehicles carrying dangerous or hazardous cargo are forbidden on this route. B. Only commercial trucks with permits allowed. C. Explosive cargo staging area ahead. D. Chemical manufacturing facility route. The correct response is option A. Vehicles carrying dangerous or hazardous cargo are forbidden on this route. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future road sign quizzes, DMV practice tests, and driving theory lessons. Thanks for watching, and drive safely wherever the road takes you.